Seven of the best came to play for the money. On 7 good ponies and some damn good swing.
Hi everyone, welcome to the 7th Swan Cup video podcast. My name is Alex Wrobel from the Inverell Polocrosse Club, and we're going to endeavour to complete a podcast every week in the lead up to the 2021 Inverell Swan Cup. I'm the president of the Inverell Polocrosse Club, and we're going to use this podcast to provide you with information about the Swan Cup and meet the people behind the scenes who will help make our event a success. The Swan Cup will run from the 8th to the 11th of July 2021. And our Open Men's Polocrosse and Sale nominations open on the 19th of April and close on the 10th of May 2021. I'm here again with our club member and leader of our Swan Cup, Cameron Neville. How you going, Cameron?
Terrific, thank you, mate.
That's good. And our special guest this week is Sam Amey, and Sam's from ASAR Stock Horses. Thanks for joining us, Sam. How you going?
Pretty good yourselves?
Yeah, going good, thanks.
I'm great, mate.
So first of all, Sam, thanks for coming on board and doing a podcast with us for the Swan Cup. And there may be plenty of people out there from in and around the Polocrosse community who might know you. Can you tell us some of the things that you've done within Polocrosse? And I know there's other sports you've been a part of. Can you tell us a bit about what you've done with your horses?
I've been lucky enough to play nearly everywhere around the country and just watch a lot of other people ride the ponies that we've been breeding. So played Perth Nationals, played Barrostock, played a little bit of state stuff when I was a junior and intermediate, and then had 5 to 10 years away from the sport, and then come back. My family's always been involved with polocrosse and horse sports. Brother and sister no longer play anymore. One wanted to be a bull rider and one wanted to be a barrel chaser. Yeah, so that's about it. Yeah, not a whole lot.
No worries. And how long you been breeding horses?
Oh, probably close enough to 20 years. Probably 16 years number wise that we've been breeding, and prior to that just 2 or 3. We breed on average about 18 horses a year, give or take a few. And that keeps us busy in itself.
Definitely. Could you tell us a bit about your horses, like what lines you chase? Stallion lines, mare lines.
Sire lines, we're based heavily on Starbuck Mistral, the McLennan family. We're based in Grafton, and then I think they've moved up to Baroran, Queensland, or somewhere up around Gladstone. So Starbuck Mistral's fairly heavy. Mare lines, we're bigger in mare lines than anything. The Gilmore family from, where are they? Warwick, or around the Warwick area. In their mare line, in all their mare lines and side through Cinder's Melody. She seemed to breed on a lot of horses that have proven in all disciplines, from drafting and polo and polo cross. The Coombs family through Adios, Reflect, Hornet, Barris and Amy, their mare lines as well. And that's probably about it. There's been an odd few thrown in there, but yeah, Amiga. But basically camp draft and polocrosse. We've got a octagonal stallion, straight thoroughbred, that we've been putting a few mares to, just to try and improve size and speed, and yeah, so hopefully that's something to throw out there for you to think about.
And mate, with your horses and breeding that many, like obviously you can't keep them and ride them all yourselves. So part of your own business, is probably marketing your own horses and taking them to sales, and being located where you are. You're not that far away from Albury and Berrigoon. But if you took them out of it, where do you go to sell a polocrosse horse?
Well, other than privately, probably nowhere. Like, you don't go to the Berrigoon sale. Berrigoon are probably the leaders for polocrosse horses and a benchmark, but they're the only one really promoting a polocrosse horse sale other than yourselves. We've sold horses previously at Barragoon. We haven't for the last couple of years. Just it's the wrong time of year for us, and it's just a bit of a strain with the 3 kids and everything else that's going on that time of year. COVID probably this year we probably could have and should have. We just lack of motivation personally through COVID. Lots of other things going on, and kids keep you busy, mate. Like they're all riding now and all trying to do their own thing in sport and that. So we just try and keep them entertained. But yeah.
And
right,
mate, sorry.
No, you're right.
I was going to ask next question. Like, have you ever had your horses into Dalby or into the Nutrien sale at Tamworth? Any of those horse sales you've been with them?
Yeah, we've sold a few through Dalby. Dalby's been pretty good to us. Through a lot of our horses are more known up through Queensland, being Queensland-based horses. I haven't sold a lot through Landmark. The ones we have sold there have probably been suited more to polocrosse people than drafting. So this year we just decided that if we can get in, we're going to take our best 2-year-olds to that sale and just see if we can, how we go.
Yeah, well, but certainly a great market. Like, you know, there's only so many horses that fit into 4 days of selling. So, and everyone wants to come back, and everyone's going to win the classic. That's their mindset when they get there. Yeah. But yourself, like you're playing horses, and your family and that are all riding and stuff like that. And you've been a great supporter to us already with your stallion service fees that you donated to, so we could handle getting the grounds, which we much appreciated. But I wanted to talk to you about a couple of horses that you might be bringing on your truck that you think you might bring up to the Swan Cup. Have you got anything in the pipeline?
Well, one of them was a stallion that was donated for a service fee, being Beckham. He probably caught me at a weak moment where he was just running the yard and being a bit of a pain. So he's a couple stone lighter at the moment. And I think a few people...
And how old's he? How old is he? How old's Beckham?
He's a 4-year-old. 4-year-old gelding now. He's by an open sire called Gilgan Onyx, which we owned. He's a Lindsay cadet horse out of Cinder's Melody. His mare line is out of Darryl Smith's mare. He's out of a Navajo mare. He's out of Miracle, Betty Jane, all Darryl's mares. I think he'd play. I lost you.
Yeah, no, I was only thinking that. So you stick and ball him and muck around with him a bit and think he might have a game?
Oh, I think he'll play. Like he's an athlete. He's an athlete. Like he just wasn't meant to be a sire. Someone that wanted to put up with these mannerism and that at home, but there's a few other stallions here, and I just don't like them being loud or obnoxious. So, look, yeah, I'd play him tomorrow. Like, I hope to have him working well. Brett and Tracy Woodward come down, and we give him a little spiel on him in the round yards and on cattle and that, just to show him how he was working. And he's just come back from out of the paddock, and he's just starting prep now for your sale. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about him. If no one wants him there, I'll take him home and put him on the truck again.
No. We'll find a victim.
But yeah, no, we're just...
What else?
We've actually got another mare by a horse called Star Pavarotti out of Daughter of Percussion coming up there. She'll be a 3-year-old filly. Yeah, I think she's by her mother. Her mother actually played down at the Barragoon Polocrosse tournament. I'm not sure who rode her. We had her here for a while. The main reason we bought that mare was to get a a foal out of her, and we did that. We got a filly out of her, and I did an embryo out of that filly, and we thought we'd just put her through that sale. We might as well put some good ones that people are going to like. Like I think she's out. Oh, she's by that grey horse of Trish Jones's. But yeah, her grandmother's Percussion. She should be about 15 hands. She'll be a 3-year-old. She's just been lightly hacked around and flat work and work on the place, stick and ball lineups, and just following horses, just trying to get all the basics done. So she goes there and she can move well, and someone can hop on her and take it to the next level.
And do you think, mate, you know, like you sell a lot of horses into Queensland, and people probably ring you and say, you know, have you got one for sale, and have you got one for sale here, and you got one that might play?
Yep.
Do you think that, you know, you might get to a point where you say, well, look, I've got Beckham going to the Swan Cup, that's where he's going to be? Or if someone rings up, do you think you go, oh, well, I'll just sell him, you know, privately? Like, do you think our incentive is enough to get someone like yourself to bring good horses to our sale?
I've had 3 people ring up and try and buy him, and I've said to them that he's going to your sale.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
That's all right.
My wife and I said, like, we're going to try and take 4. Like, we've got 2 already picked out, and then we're going to try and put another 2 in. And we basically said we might as well take 4 good horses that you know will play and people can play them. I think the incentives and the way you're going about it is a good thing. Like Polocrosse is struggling like everywhere, so we've got to change and do something to help and improve it. And I hope it all works out for everyone, as a vendor and as a purchaser, and for yous running it. I hope it's a success. If it can be anything like the Landmark or Dalgety, I think it started at Dalgety, then it was Landmark and Nutrien. If it can be following their footsteps, then yeah, I'd like to be behind it from the start, and then keep supporting it. Like, yeah.
Well, mate, we really appreciate what you've done for us just from the get-go. Now, I've never actually met you personally. I've spoken to you a lot on the phone and different things, but I want to talk to you a bit now about our competition and the open men's side of things. Like, you've played in some reasonably high sides and state sides and different things. Do you think it's a good idea capping it how it is and trying to get instead of one real top New South Wales men team that wins the Nationals by 10 goals every year? Do you think what we're doing is spreading it out, and, you know, we might end up with 10 sides that all could win it? Do you think that's a good idea?
I think it's a great concept. Like, we were lucky enough to play in a similar thing as a Southern 50 years ago down in Victoria, and just the Polocrosse and the level on that was just phenomenal. Like, it's as good as Nationals or Australian teams. It's just generally mates playing with mates and playing who they want to play with, and you just find the camaraderie and the mateship, and that it's just Polocrosse. Like, and everyone seemed to have each other's back more, and it's just a bit more fun, to be honest. It's just enjoyable and fun and good. Yeah, it's just good to be involved in, to be honest. Like,
do you think the money? Do you think the money we put up is the carrot that actually gets everyone excited, or do you think it's the fact that they just can come up and actually beat someone that, you know, they've never beaten before?
I don't think it's the money. I just think it's blokes that miss out or don't get that opportunity when they play with their mates. You're playing against them fellas on a level playing field, as such, as close as you can get, and you may not beat them, but you're going to let them know you're there and just be competitive. And that's about it. Like, well, I've probably lost more games than I've ever won, but the ones that you've lost by 1 or 2 mean more than the ones you win by a lot. Like,
yeah, definitely.
especially when you're playing with mates, and you can walk off the field and go, oh, I'll give everything I had, and, well, we just weren't good enough. Let's get better and have another go. Like, but the circle's getting smaller and smaller. So I think your concept is a great sort of stepping stone for change in a good direction for everyone in polocrosse, and even to try and encourage new membership and new players. Because with the way
our season's our season sort of gets underway next weekend at Walker, and I'm just going to ask you, like being down in the south, have you had people approach you and say, are you going to go to the Swan Cup? Have you heard about it? Like, how did,
putting a team
apart
together?
from Facebook, how did you come up?
Well, I think I had a phone call from Brett, but you've advertised and marketed it pretty well. Like, we got a Stock Horse Journal magazine yesterday or the day before in the Mail, and there's a full page ad advertising Swan Cup. The whole incentive thing, I think there was a couple of other players that rang me up and said, oh, have you heard of this? And what do you think of this? I think it was Adam Dixon or Andrew Dixon, Michael Clark. They ring up and say, have you heard of this? What horse are you going to take? And how do we get a team in? And I do think it's a good avenue, like, to support and grow our sport. Like, yeah, I'm just lucky enough that someone wanted me to play, but yeah, like, it wouldn't have mattered to me. Like, we would have just went up there and not played and brought sale horses up and just watched some good polocrosse. But yeah, now I'm playing. Now I got to pull my finger out and get a bit fitter, lose a bit of weight, and practice.
Yeah.
There's
a few in that category.
That's me all the time, every time.
The COVID downtime was not kind.
Yeah.
Definitely was not.
Yeah.
But no, look, I really hope it just grows for you. I hope it works, and I'd like to know that, like, let you know, like, my wife and I will be there and again the following year. So
we really hope someone like yourself. We really hope someone like yourself comes up, has success selling his horses, comes back next year and watches them horses play at a high level with some reasonable, whether they're a green rider or a top level rider, and you can go out there and say, oh, I bred that one, that horse won an award, or that horse necessarily goes and wins a draft, we hope that's where we support you as much as you are supporting us.
Oh, totally. It's as much enjoyment watching someone else ride a horse that you've bred do well and go on and be as successful as it could have been for you, for anyone. So that's a big reward for us, watching other people ride. We call them a product, our horse, our product, letting other people ride them and do well, have fun and be safe. That's a big thing.
Who have you got together in your side, Sam? If you want to tell us, you don't have to, but.
Oh, Jesus. I think Cameron Neville should comment on this one. I think it's Luke Losberg, Michael Simmons, Chris Soletto, Cameron Neville, Brett Woodward, Kieran Chapman, and myself.
Yeah, so a pretty handy side.
Look, I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, we'll know with
couple of weak links.
Yeah. Two of them are on this conversation. But no, like, there's a few blokes in there I haven't played with. I've played against with a lot, but getting that opportunity to play with them that's a bit of a buzz, to be honest. Like, you go away, like
you're getting a mix from Victoria to New South Wales and Queensland, all playing together. Like, it would never happen anywhere else.
And you just hope that you just get on and work it out and go and have some fun and play polocrosse. Like, but yeah, no, I'm pretty excited about it. But yeah, looking forward to it. Wish it was a bit closer to home.
Oh, pretty good country up here, mate.
Yeah, but No, it's just a good concept, mate. Like I'm all for it. Like, yeah.
Yeah. No, we're pretty excited about it too. And, I think I've said this on previous podcasts before, but our long-term goal is that people look at the calendar and the Swan Cup's on the calendar regardless. Like we want it to be an event that everyone plans their season around. And like you said yourself, you're already got horses in work, prepping them for the sale. We want it to be that every year. We want those people to be ready and coming. And we think we've put in the hard work to get it to where we want to get, and everyone seems to be backing us on that so far. So we're just thankful that fellas like you are coming on board and supporting us and looking after us.
Oh no, it's a pleasure. Like it's just another avenue to help us promote our horses, and if it helping you is helping us. So it's a win-win for both of us. That's how we look at it.
Mate, I can't thank you enough already for what you've done, getting us,
that's just
help us get in our grounds,
let alone anything else.
What's that, mate? What was that one?
He said, "I can't thank you enough." I said, "That's just for picking him in a side, let alone anything else."
Yeah, well, no,
one else is going to give him a start.
Polo, like you talk to most people that play polocrosse, they're all passionate about the sport, but it's just sort of dwindling. There's no growth. So anything to help polocrosse and people with polocrosse is a pretty easy thing to put your hand up and say, yep, can we help? Doesn't matter where you're from, or you don't have to even be from the country. You can be from overseas or anywhere. You just something we do, I suppose. Everyone does it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
Pretty small community.
Definitely.
That's it.
All right. So just before we go, just a reminder for everyone, our event will run from the 8th to the 11th of July 2021, and our Open Men's Polocrosse and Sale nominations will open on the 19th of April and close on the 10th of May 2021. Sam Amey, thanks for joining us on our podcast. It's much appreciated, and thanks, like Cameron said before, thanks for all the things that you already have done for our club in donating some service fees end of last year to get us off the ground and help us to own our grounds. And our dream is to move this event from the showgrounds in Inverell, and in 2022 we hope to run it at our grounds and broaden the event and open it up so that we can not just have an open men's competition, we can hopefully have a women's competition, and we can run our Swan Cup incentive alongside that. So thanks for coming on board.
No, thank you. Thanks very much.
See you, mate.
See you later.
See you, mate.
So get your team together, get fired up. So I can have a chop at you at the Inverell Swan Cup.